Hello guys, Prathak this side. So today we'll be solving our LeetCode problem 14 longest common prefix. So let's first understand this problem properly. We have to write a function to find the longest common prefix string amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, we return an empty string. This. So what this question is saying is we have to find the longest common prefix in our array for us in our array of strings. So let's understand this more with an example. Uh, as you can see, this is our array of strings here. We have flower, flow, and flight. So if we look at prefixes here, we can see that FL is common and is the longest here out of all of them. So we are going to return FL here. And for our second example, we can see that our as strings is are as follows: dog, race car, and car. So if we look at this, we are not going to find any prefix because prefix starts from prefix starts from first here, and we can see that the first letters of these things and these three strings are different, and there is no common prefix among the input strings here. And our constraints are str length is between 1 and 200. Our str's our string length is between 0 and 200, and our string consists of only lowercase English letters and if it is not empty. So our approach here can be is we can use a find method here, algorithm here, to check for our lowest to check for our longest prefix here, and while iterating through our for loops and while iterating through our array of strings here. So let's go, and first we'll just create our string here. String is our string would be substring here, which will be our zeroth string. And why we are creating is because this string will be getting compared with every other string to find the prefix here. And after this, we are going to start writing our for loop here. Int I is equal to 1. We will be going to iterate through our first array here because we don't want to compare our zeroth as substring with zeroth array here. So still size plus plus. And here we will write our while loop here. And in this, we are going to write our condition here. If substring, no, if si dot find substring is not equal to 0, we will just substring dot pop back. So what we are basically doing is we are going to use find algorithm to check if if our element is equal to our substring. And why we are using find here is because find returns the starting of index. So let's take an example here. If our if our substring is this flower, as we can see, and our and where si element is this flow. So what will happen is it will try to find our element that is in the string here. It will and after it finds our index, after it finds a string, it will just return our index. So what will it find is it will find this flow inside of flower. So what will it return? It will return our 0 here. And after this, we are going to check it until we find our 0. And if we are not finding our 0, we will just pop back and we will stop and we will start cutting our array, and we'll start cutting our string until we find our longest substring. Because as we can see that it we wants our longest common prefix, and our prefix starts from the zeroth index because in our prefix it comes before our word here. So that's why we are going to use find here. And after this, we will simply just return our substring here to check for it. And as we can see, let's try run our code and see if it is working or not. As you guys can see, it is working, or it is working. And let's go through our code here, because let's go through our logic once more here. Because what I'm saying is, if we look at the question, if we look at the title of the question, it wants the longest common prefix. So we can observe that it wants the prefix, and we can agree from that prefix would always be on our zeroth index of our array here. So zeroth index, I mean zeroth word of our array. So what we'll do is we'll start from the back side of our array and start cutting our string until we find the longest substring. And our find algorithm will help in it, because we can see that after this, our after finding the substring for this as here, our substring would become flow here, and after this we'll come start comparing our substring flow with our flight here, and after comparing it, our substring would remain as fl here, and since that would be our answer. And in here, what we'll do is we'll just submit our code here and see if it is working for all the edge cases or not. As you guys can see, it is working for all the edge cases, and our time complexity would be is for this is O n into m. And because O n into m, because our n is the length of the substring, our n then is the length of the string, and our m is the length of the substring here. And our space complexity is O n, since we are using our string data type here. And that's it from my side, guys. Thank you guys for watching.